Hello, my name is Chris East with Crane Foodservice Solutions. I am the Vice President of MAFSI and a member of our fledgling rep group. I am here with MAFSI member Spotlight, and we're here to feature NAFEM's very own Flynn. She's the Executive Vice President. She is the face of the show. She's a dynamo in this industry. And enough about what I have to say. Share a little bit about yourself.
Oh, hi, Chris. It's great to be with you. As he said, I'm Deirdre Flynn. I have the privilege of being NAFEM's Executive Vice President, which means I get to work with the manufacturers of food service equipment and supplies to grow NAFEM programs and services, and of course, deliver the NAFEM show to the industry. I have been attached to NAFEM one way or the other for many years. Originally, just with the NAFEM show, doing marketing and communications for the NAFEM show, and in this role as EVP since 2002, when NAFEM chose to become a self-operated association. So pleasure to be with you, and a proud MAFSI member. My main contact in MAFSI, of course, is collaborating with Allison Cody and sharing programming information and sharing how we deliver programs and services to our respective constituents. So we love MAFSI, and we are MAFSI just as much as you all are.
We're very proud to be associated, obviously, with the manufacturers that we collectively represent in the NAFEM organization. So
Absolutely.
thank you for your participation. So as we dive in, you mentioned several hats there that you wear. I think most of us see you on the industry-facing side with the show. But maybe what's one of the more rewarding things that you get to do to help the industry that we don't necessarily see?
I think it's certainly it's working with an incredibly talented board of directors to see what programs and services are most helpful for the channel. And we consider the channel to be NAFEM, MAFSI, FCSI, FIDA, and CFESA to help the channel grow the industry for their respective and collaborative customers. So we can't do it without each other. You need equipment to be able to sell, to work with your customer and to work with the dealer and the consultant out there that's building and designing restaurants. I think it's attracting and growing young talent in the industry and making sure that programs and services that we offer give them the background, the resources, the information they need to grow and prosper in their careers. Certainly our certification program, to have people become CFSP certified and to have a designation that really distinguishes you as being somebody who understands the complete and total package of delivering a food service outlet to ultimately all of us who are food service outlet customers in the long run. And then probably the most recent thing that I am most proud of is NAFEM launched in 2020 its social purpose program. We chose to partner with Feeding America to hopefully eradicate hunger. And in the 6th year, we are now in our 6th year. We launched the program. We went on lockdown because of the pandemic a month later. But in 5 years, we have put 43 million meals into local communities. So it's incredibly rewarding to see NAFEM members get a claim and dig down deep and help support their communities.
That's fantastic. So 43 million with meals served with Feeding America. You mentioned prior to that, you were talking about the bringing young people into this industry and making this an attractive environment. Obviously, causes of that nature are something that tends to attract this generation and something that's important. If you were to give some advice to an incoming young professional into this industry, what are some things you might give them to set their stage or set their career going in the right direction?
I think the most important thing is to listen, to watch the people around you, the people that you're working with on your team, to listen, to ask a lot of questions, and never turn down an opportunity. All of us who work on the staff side for associations and institutes and professional societies, none of us ever thought that that's what we would be doing as a career or as work. When I joined Smith Buckland, which was the association management firm that managed NAFEM at the time, I had a lot of opportunities across a lot of industries, and I never said no to them, but I never wanted to leave NAFEM because NAFEM was something that was easily explainable to somebody else. When you go to a restaurant and you enjoy a great meal, Well, my guys are the people that built the equipment that made that meal for you. And hospitality is what brings people together. So it's that face to face. It surpasses technology, even though technology is really embedded in the industry now, and it's showing how the industry is growing and morphing. It's still that face to face, that thing that brings people together, which I think is so fascinating. So for a young person, it's be a sponge, soak up all the information that you can, never turn down an opportunity. Don't feel like you have to have the answer. Feel that you have to ask questions and gain information so that you can then put the answer together for someone. You're not expected to know everything right away. And if you do think you know everything away, you're in the wrong industry. You need to step aside and get some more training and be a little bit more humbled, overall in comparison. So that's what I would say to them.
You mentioned, and maybe building on whether it's somebody who's new in this industry or somebody who's tenured and maybe has some gray in their beard like I do. If you take that concept of hospitality you spoke about, but you also there's the pairing of technology. How do you see that? How do you see one moving forward and complementing the other without the other getting lost along the way?
I think that technology helps us and helps the industry because it keeps us connected more easily than it was in the past. Think of the amount of time that the pandemic taught us this, right? More than anything else. We had no choice. Everybody was locked down, and we learned to use technology. We learned to be much more efficient in the time that we spent with each other. So now I think it's a combination of how do we expand and continue to use those technologies to our benefit while not forsaking the face to face interaction that's necessary to go in and see a customer operation in action. Things are very different than they were 5 years ago in comparison in how food service outlets are delivering to their customers. Certainly, the proliferation of grab and go and technology to order anywhere in the world where you are has us eating differently than we did in the past. We look to, depending on economic conditions, we change our eating habits and we do things differently. Certainly, grocery came back and expanded tremendously with prepared food options and that type of thing. So I think the technology helps us be more efficient, helps us be stronger, helps us deliver to that customer in a better, faster, more efficient way. It also helps us deliver to that customer more efficiently. It's a little scary because it leaves less think time to some extent because you're expected to answer 24/7 because the technology is available 24/7. And I think you have to put realistic boundaries around the technology so that it works to everybody's advantage.
Absolutely, absolutely. Speaking of restrictive boundaries, I'm fortunate I have a job that I love, and it sounds like you do as well. But we all need a break. When you are not working, what are some of the things that fill up your time and some hobbies and activities that maybe refill your passion for NAFEM?
What does refill my passion for NAFEM when I'm not working? So I like to bake, not cook as much as I like to bake. I love to read. I love trash TV, and I love series TV. So reality TV is an escape because I can't believe that people actually are on reality TV the way they are, but I think it's hilarious and it's worth a laugh in comparison. And then I knit too. So
Okay.
Buffy Levy, our show director, and I often have when we're traveling together, often have our knitting projects with us and get stuff done in our own little knitting circle.
Nice. Excellent.
Yeah.
So, favorite thing to bake?
Favorite thing to bake. My signature dish, to quote, Beat Bobby Flay, is lemon squares.
And then what about favorite book?
I would say currently it's The Covenant of Water, and he also wrote Cutting for Stone. Beautifully written, long, long, long books, but beautifully written, and you can like kind of escape into it. I think my favorite all-time book is Cider House Rules by John Irving, and then Growing Up by Russell Baker is also one of my favorites.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Um, we're around food service all the time where you're with manufacturers, I'm with manufacturers. We're back to your comments earlier. We're in the hospitality world. What's your favorite place to eat?
My favorite place to eat is any Italian restaurant. Unfortunately, I like pasta too much. If I could eat anywhere in the world, it would be any place in Italy, would be my choice. I think Italy is a beautiful country. I've not spent a lot of time there. I've not been
Hmm.
to every city, but I think the language is lyrical. I think people can be telling you that you're an idiot and it sounds beautiful when it comes out of their mouth. Anything Italian, I think, would be my first choice. And then
Uh,
junk food would be my second choice.
excellent, excellent.
Bad
Sounds
junk food.
like I'm on the pasta junk food diet myself. So,
Yeah.
what do you get? There's obviously there's challenges. If you tie into your back to your role with NAFEM, what do you get the most personal gratification out of?
I get the most personal gratification working with NAFEM out of the fact that NAFEM is as strong as it is because of its members. And the membership is incredibly diverse. There are a lot of myths out there about who the average NAFEM member is or what makes up NAFEM membership. So NAFEM is pretty equally divided between corporate and independent manufacturers. The supply side of the industry, small wares, middleware, dominate the membership. That's about 60 to 62% of the membership. Large conglomerates are only 8% of the membership. And yes, they're big in volume, but it's a small percentage. So you've got a lot of diverse opinions and needs. So it's great. And I think NAFEM's very mindful. The NAFEM board is very mindful of making sure that we're balanced among heavy equipment, middleware, small wares representation on our board. I think that we're very mindful of having that same kind of representation in the programs and services that we offer so that there's something for everyone within NAFEM. Certainly being NAFEM's voice on the advocacy front and the manufacturer's voice on the advocacy front, not all members make equipment that might come under a regulatory change. But to have a seat at the table to know how it will impact that group of NAFEM members who can't afford to have an advocacy team on their own, I think is an important function that the association has to fill overall. So it's really making sure that we have those people engaged, we have members engaged in all we do. So we have about, I'd say 15 active working groups. We don't call them committees anymore because they don't have to meet on a regular basis. They're more issue based than anything else now. So we have about 15 active working committees. We have 2 appointed committees and 15 active working committees. And that's an opportunity for members to engage and help us steer what those program and service offerings are. So our strength is because we get member engagement.
So to build on that a little bit, and as you this message goes out to MAFSI members, whether the rep
Mhm.
side or the manufacturers or associate members that are part of the association. How would you encourage a similar type of engagement to the MAFSI membership to go and drive, knowing that the MAFSI the organization's only as strong as what the membership puts into it? What advice would you pass on to those members based on your positive experiences from NAFEM?
That's a good question. That's a hard question too. So I think the experience I would want to pass on to a MAFSI member is to get engaged. You learn so much from your fellow MAFSI members and recognize that our members can't exist without their MAFSI reps. They just can't. And you are the people that are on the street. You are the people who are interacting with customers. So feed that information back to the person at the manufacturer level who's managing you or responsible for what you're doing. Feed that information back so that collectively we're stronger as an industry. That can help you with engagement on what MAFSI needs to teach its members, and that can help NAFEM on what they need to teach what we need to teach our members on, so that we're operating as one.
Cohesively.
Exactly. So it's not a pass through type of thing that, we've all evolved over time. That years and years ago, MAFSI used to do the sales managers forum for the manufacturers, and then the MAFSI conference started, and it was kind of crazy when you think of it that they were hearing something without you in the room, and you were hearing something necessarily without them in the room, when you're both doing the same thing.
Hmm.
You're both
Or at
responsible
least
for.
working towards the same goal, right?
Exactly. So with that in mind, I think that it's all about getting involved. You learn more from each other, and the strength of one can be the strength of many.
So you started very early talking about how Allison you've had a great working relationship with her. Um, Thinking back to the years of the NAFEM and MAFSI collaboration, what's maybe one or two of your favorite memories?
So, despite the fact that we're youngsters, Allison and I have worked together for a really long time because she too was at Smith Buckland back in the early part of her career working with MAFSI before she detoured and then MAFSI moved to Atlanta and all. But I think my favorite thing was when I first moved into this role, Self Up, we traveled a lot together. Um, Part of it was the circuit. Everybody had their meetings each month for the first 5 months of the year. So we were seeing each other every 3 weeks. But in the course of that, it was, if you've never had the opportunity to share a meal with Allison, you should, because every condiment known to man ends up on the table. She has an incredible passion and dedication and commitment to MAFSI, and that's helped MAFSI grow over the years. All of my counterparts at the association are incredibly dedicated to their organizations. And we laugh a lot and we
Hmm.
don't take anything. So we're not neurosurgeons. We're not, brain surgeons on this. We are just trying to make sure people understand what we're doing, what we have to offer, how they can benefit from it. And it's that hospitality edge. It's that we have fun together. And I think that's the most important thing, that hospitality represents a kindness and a humor to it. And we can laugh at ourselves and um, we can help each other through dark times and we can celebrate with each other through the good times. So,
We have a saying that Craniacs take their business very serious, just not ourselves very serious. So
right.
same
Exactly.
same thing.
Exactly.
So well, very
We
good.
serve at the pleasure of your organizations. And I think she's a good example of never losing sight of that. It's not, you know, I, yes, we're public faces for our organizations and we're the people that people go to. But bottom line, our job is to make you all look good. So,
Absolutely. Well, and we appreciate that from you and from Allison, and very much. This was a great conversation. Always enjoy a chance to socialize with you, but this is an even better platform. And again, thank you for all you do. Thank you for all NAFEM does. It really does.
absolutely.
As an independent rep, it helps set us up for tremendous success. So thank you for that.
You're very welcome. We're excited as you're coming up the ranks and we'll assume the MAFSI presidency and stuff like that. You'll see a lot of us. We'll get to travel the circuit with you. So that'll be great fun. So we're looking forward to
Absolutely. We got two years of Stephanie at the range. She's going to knock it out of the park, and then y'all are stuck with me.
it. It'll be
So
great. It'll be great.
excellent. Deirdre, thank you very much.
Thanks, Chris. Have a great day.
Absolutely.